Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. This is episode 102 of the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon by Richard Barton, using a heavily modified version of the old school Essential system by Necrotic Gnome. We once again have a full house for the evening. My name is John. I'm the referee for the evening, and going around the horn we have...
Hello, I am Mike. I am playing Brother Lothar, the cleric of Odin, who I believe may have hit the magic number 7 last week.
Hey, there you go.
I'm David. I am reprising my role as Upior, the 6th level magic user, and I've decided to take on a voice for the first time in the stream. I think Upior might sound like this henceforth. What do you think?
Fired.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
We would have killed him long ago. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I play Whooper Cheek. I'm a 6th level fighter and Rudishvan in training.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted. Tonight I will be reprising my role as Mortis J. Gobliono, 7th level goblin. This close to be 8th level goblin.
So close to maxing out.
Ooh.
Well, it wouldn't be an episode of 36 DTL without Mike jumping the gun by saying that he hit 7th level, because he didn't. He's got enough XP to be 7th level, but that doesn't just magically happen. So, so
Guys, I don't know about you, but I want to push on. I mean, we've rested so much lately. We just got to push.
I'm going to take a nap.
There's no resting.
No resting until we fix this shuttle.
it really is very early in the morning because you just rested.
Like twice.
It was at 8 a.m. We ended the session at 8:30 a.m. and you're all like, oh, I'm so tired.
Can't figure out why that is. Just
Yeah, I just feel like if I go to sleep right now, I'm going to wake up and just be better at this whole cleric thing.
So
Sleep when you're dead.
it is the 21st of Gelenios. It is 8:30 a.m. They are currently standing amidst the ruins of a couple of stone chairs that once sat two ancient Rudishva skeletons that animated and sent out their sonic blasts and chucked bones at them. But they handled them tidily with some pretty cool high-level powers. And facing you across the way is a what you've discovered to be a transit shaft of some sort through an ingenious amalgamation of technology and sorcery that the ancient Rudishvans put into place. Upior did his normal. Before he knew it was a transit shaft that went up and down, he actually just used his levitation boots and went up to discover that the transit shaft went up way past 300 feet, but at the 250 foot mark, there was a lip that ended up in another room that also had two stone chairs with some very animate Rudishva skeletons as well, but he managed to dip back down before that, before they were able to attack him, if that's what they were going to do. That is the plan. So your primary goal right now is to find that drive rod in what apparently is the engine room. You still have no leads as to where the engine room might be, but you have a lot of tools at hand. We have Barrios and Elizabeth as retainers. Lothar does have enough XP to level up if you can manage to rest. First order of business, though, I'd like to get through is the treasure allotment. There was a great deal of treasure in the base of that transit shaft from adventurers and other denizens that were either killed by the skeletons or killed by dropping down the shaft or who knows what. But the big guys we have here are magical suit of ringmail with a sort of phoenix figure on the breast that kind of rises in flames constantly, a very lightweight, beautifully crafted crossbow, a kick-ass nasty looking staff, a ring which has been dubbed apparently the Aurora Borealis ring instead of the Aurora Borealis ring, a scroll of protection from petrification which any character can use, and a spell scroll of illusionist spells which can be cast by any magic user. So Upior is able to cast any of those as well. So however, I know where the illusionist spell scroll is going. I need to know where everything else is going.
Mort's going to take the crossbow.
And I think that we agreed that it would be all right for Wolfhard to try that new armor on. Don't know for sure if it's going to be better than what he's got, but he's going to try that stuff on anyway, that ring mail.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it does fit. You do notice too that it's sized for like a human and all that kind of good stuff. But when you do don it in a magical nature, it does seem to form fit to you, to your specific size.
All right, this looks good.
Yeah. Don't tell the goblin.
When I was putting it, when I was putting it on, did I notice any words on it or anything as I was like flipping it
there's
around?
no words. You did notice that there was like a surge of flame when you donned the hauberk, and then it sort of goes back to it goes back to like the normal way that's just sort of lightly flickering. Again, like I said last session, it's not going to give you away in any sort of dark environment, but it is present.
So Matt, here's my theory, right? It's got an image of a phoenix or something on it, right? Phoenixes are all about coming back after they've been killed. So I'm going to take my mace.
And kill more.
Bear with me here.
No, my theory that's a good one. My theory is that it has some kind of like retribution, like fiery. If you get hit, it like flames out and like
right. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Mort, come here. I want you to take your dagger.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, then what?
Yeah. All right, and then I'm going to take the ring of Aurora Borealis, which I think might have something to do with healing.
Good grief, Mike.
Okay, so Lothar takes the ring. Is that right? So
yes.
Lothar, when you put on the ring, you feel much more secure in your person, as if not a lot of things are going to be able to get through.
Ring of protection.
Who took the crossbow?
That would be Mortis J. Gobliano.
Mort, you had a feeling when you took a look at it that it was pretty lightweight than normal, but it is very light, like much lighter than the bulk of wood that you're picking up would give away. Do you have bolts?
I do not.
Okay, so be aware.
Can I reach into my bag and pull out some crossbow bolts?
You could pull out a bolt, and that's the only bolt you can get for the day.
All right, there you go.
It's better than no bolts.
Don't miss.
All right, I'm going to have to dump something.
The staff is going to Upior. The scroll, the spell scroll is going to Upior, I assume. Who is taking the scroll of protection from petrification?
Wolfert does not need it.
You only cast it on yourself, or can it be cast on another person?
Just you.
Like I know anyone can cast it, but
just you.
You cast it on yourself.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then we had a couple of potions, 3 different potions. None of them have you seen before.
Let's do a little tippy taste. He's going to take one. And what colors are they? Do we know?
I don't have them written down.
Okay.
Little
Potion number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sippy
Just a little taste.
First sippy sip, it gives you it gives you the feeling that you would be protected from extreme heat, as in fire resistance. The second one makes you feel like you'd be protected from basically anything. A potion of invulnerability.
We've reached the stage of the Arden Vul where John cannot be bothered to make up colors and descriptions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You get this deep, and they're all the same.
Yeah, like come on, just drink the damn potion. All right, and the third one.
Third one is actually a new one, so I kind of have to check here. Give me a second. Potion of that. Okay. There it is. I have to check what it does. I think I know what it does, but ooh, this one does have a description because it's from Arden Vul. It's a midnight black liquid flecked with motes of amber. Oh, it's cool. Okay, so it is a potion of dispelling. So it works just like dispel magic if you drink it, but it can also be thrown as a grenade, as like a targeted dispel magic. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So what? You drink it and it dispels a spell on you?
Yeah, so you could drink it, and like if you've got something on you, it would dispel it. Yeah, and then you could also toss it like you're actually casting the spell. It acts as a 12th level caster casting dispel magic.
Wow.
Nasty. I'm just giving you the whole jobby with
Right
that.
on.
Okay.
I'll carry the invulnerability.
How brave of you.
Wondering if we should use that dispel magic potion on the skeletons that are waiting up the shoop tube.
That
We
would
have
be
to,
good
yeah,
because we
yeah.
haven't had a chance to try that directly on them. Elizabeth kept missing like an amateur.
It
I
very
do
well may
have
work.
something-
It's not a bad idea, but just don't. I think we've done this a number of times where we have to remember that in OSC, dispel magic dispels spells that have been cast, not like enchantments that are on things and things like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
I think the glowing Arcanum eyes aren't dispellable, is my guess.
What,
I do have something I
what
wanna-
page is the ring on, John? So I can just write it down.
All of this stuff is on page 609.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I do have a little experiment I want to do once we are ready for me to do so, gang.
I'm ready.
Um,
Does this involve
does
these
anyone-
sleeping first?
no, does anyone have a lantern on them? And if not, can you grab a lantern and some oil out of the sack, Matt?
let's see. Do I have a lantern? Wilford doesn't. Let's see if Lisbeth does. She does not.
Okay.
If
I
nobody
would
has
like-
one, I can pull one out. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to take 100 feet of rope, tie it to the handle, I suppose, of the lantern, light the lantern, dip said lantern in the metallic pool. Okay.
Okay.
And I would like to go to the floating shaft and count how long it takes for the lantern to go 100 feet. To extend, if it works as we assume, to elevate up, I want to count how long it takes till the full extent of that 100 feet of rope is reached while watching the lantern. Does that make sense?
Yes. So yeah, when you dip it into the thing, it does coat the entire lantern with that liquid, and it does drip off like normally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's well coated, and yes, when you put it in the shaft, it does instantly start to rise up. What I actually don't have this information, but I'm fine with just doing it the same as the boots of levitation. Do you have a speed for that listed, or I can look it up?
I can look it up. Let's see. I mean, it's 20 feet per round.
20 feet per round. Okay, that's not helpful.
For what it's worth, John, I don't know if what I'm trying to discern isn't the acceleration. I'm trying to discern so that I have a number in my head how long it takes for that light to go to 100 feet, and then I'm going to extrapolate that by untying the rope and watching that light go to the top of the shaft and count how long it takes to get there, so I can estimate the height of the shaft. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the speed of the lantern isn't as important as the abstraction, so that I know how high the shaft is before the light stops moving. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah. Let me check here.
And when you get a chance, I have a question about the silver that got on Mort's hand. Does it?
Sorry, my dog's like.
Elvis, what are you doing, Elvis?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, so like he put the goop on his hand. He held his hand in the shoop tube. It's semi-shooped. And then does that shooping remove the liquid, or does it just drip off, or is he still partly coated, or what?
If you didn't do anything to your hand, then it's still on your hand. It drips off like normal liquid. I'm just saying it has that appearance of like Quicksilver. And if you make a motion to actually wipe it off, it wipes off easily and cleanly, leaving no remnants on it. Similar to Quicksilver, right?
Can I try a little experiment too?
Yeah.
Hey, Wolford, can I have like a glass vial from the sack?
Sure. I've got one right here.
All right.
Guys, I'll be right back.
I fill the glass vial with the liquid, John, making sure that there's none on the outside of the vial.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hold it over the shoop tube and I'm going to release it.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm doing math in my head and I can't do two things at once. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Mike. Repeat that again.
Yeah. So I fill the vial with some silvery liquid
Mhm.
and I cork it. And then I make sure I wipe off all the silvery liquid on the outside that I might have gotten on it. Right.
Mhm.
So that only the liquid inside would react to the whatever is making it work. Right.
Uh-huh.
And then I let go of the vial inside the shaft.
So there's only liquid in the vial.
Correct.
Yeah. So that one, it actually it just drops out of your hand and falls to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so one of my concerns, guys, was that if we are like halfway up and then it evaporates or just comes off or like whatever, then we would fall. So I was thinking maybe we could hold like, wine skins full of like silver liquid and float up that way. But
Well, we're
That
gonna
will
we're
not
gonna have an
We're
immediate
honest.
answer to that question because I'm gonna watch this lantern float to the top.
okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
and if it falls, we'll know. Yeah.
yeah, I was
Got it.
calculating stuff for your experiment there, David. So, Upior, when you send up the lantern, I can figure out the time, but it's going to take me more time to do that.
Time
But
doesn't really matter to me. I just want to know
yeah.
how high it is. Yeah.
so, I think it's so high that the light probably you wouldn't be able to see the light after some time. I don't know.
I would argue that, but like, go ahead. Sorry.
I guess so. I don't know. I'll just give it to you. It's 1,100 feet up.
Yeah, 1,000 feet. You can see a lantern lit 1,000 feet away
Sure.
without any obstruction. Yeah, easily.
Look, a little
You're
teeny dot.
muted. You're muted, Ted. Sorry.
Sorry. At some point, you would lose sufficient reference to be able to tell what it's doing up there. But he
Yeah, I
gave it to
don't-
us
I can
anyway.
see like a little- yeah, like a little
but for
pinprick.
instance,
Yeah.
if you're looking across the East River, you're seeing window lights that are on.
Yeah, I gave you the answer.
You,
It's
you always
11
like, no.
it's
I
1100
mean,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
for the
Yeah,
sake
1,100
of
feet up.
argument, but- all right, 1,100 feet up. So we might have a guess if this goes to the
All right,
top
hold
or
on.
near the top of the plateau. We might say it's about 11. No, we already determined. I forgot during the detox. Didn't John say it was like 1,200 or 1,250 or something like that? Or am I imagining that?
From
I
the bottom,
totally-
from the ground basin,
Yeah.
the waterfall basin
the
to the
top.
top of the plateau is 1,500 feet.
1,500 feet. Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know. So if it's 1,100 to the top, there's a 400-foot difference in the top of the shaft. If we assume that we are even with the ground or the bottom of the basin outside.
Looking at my cross section and knowing the overall distance, of course, we've got to be down, so presumably at least 1,100 feet. I would venture to guess the top level of this shaft either goes to the Druid's Retreat or the Well of Light, just based on where they are.
But Ted, we were at the bottom of the Well of Light. It's the room where
No, not the well itself. The level is called the Well of Light.
Same level. Yeah.
Yeah, the Plunger Town.
Plunger
Gotcha.
Town. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Come on, Ted.
I beg your
Remember
pardon.
your lore.
That makes sense. That'd be
we
an
know
interesting
that
place.
Halls
Oh,
of
hey, Gad.
The Halls of Thoth is about 250
Yeah.
feet deep,
Sure.
which means it might intersect it, but it's not the top of the shaft unless we're below grade here, which lower
Well,
than
which-
the lowest level.
Which means an exit of the shaft could reasonably be the Halls of Thoth level, but it is not the top of the shaft.
Exactly. Yes, that's
Which
that's
is
what I'm saying.
good to know. That's very good to
Yeah.
know.
And easy to
Okay.
find out.
And easy to find out, which we will very soon.
All right. So safety. I had some thoughts on safety here. One of the things I should do is we should have 50 feet of rope and a grappling hook ready. Go in case things go sideways. We can toss that grappling hook and try to keep from falling. Right. The other thing I think we should do is probably tie each other's waists together. That way, if somebody falls, then the rest of us can catch them. Yes, Mort, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like the floor, please. The floor. Mortis has the floor. Mortis feels that wouldn't it make more sense for all of us to just go through the rug, and the person with the boots that will prevent them from falling to their death, for example, goes up the tube and then decants us when they arrive because they bring the rug with them, and then no one gets hurt.
I don't think the rug works that way. We don't poof into the rug. We go to the. Oh, you
No.
mean to go to our stash?
Yeah, No, I think
Yeah.
Ted's a genius. Ted's a
Okay.
genius. I will hazard though that David, going by himself, squishy as he is, might not be the best person to do that. So, like on the
Do we
flip
have-
side, I'm willing to go with him because I have a shield that lets me fly for at least a couple of rounds. So if we end up going up to like where those skeletons are waiting, at least David's not standing there being like, "Hi," you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Also,
Do we have any other-
we have multiple ways of making people invisible. If we're going to split up like this, one of you could be invisible with the ring. You know, we have the rings of friendly
Right.
defense. Lisbeth is a good sport and could make one of you invisible. And we also have those beads that we took off of. Well, shoot, what was her name? I never met her. The mummy lady.
The
She
horrible
was
lady?
nasty.
We don't like her.
horrible lady.
Neferet.
Neferet,
Neferet.
thank you.
Thank you.
I was stuck on Nefertiti, and I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah. I feel like there was one other flight thing. Did we find a scroll or spell of flight recently? Or am I just hallucinating that?
Oh, you're talking about like if the worst happens?
Potion
Well,
of
listen,
flying.
I mean-
We got it in room 223 on the 17th of Gelenios.
I mean, it sounds like we're covered if we wait in the treasure hoard by the other rug, and these two go up, either both of them invisible or just one if you want. Then we should be safe as long as they're able to like get to some place where they can land.
And if Upior doesn't want to do it because he's squishy, Mort would look like Puss in Boots with the boots on, but he'd be willing to wear them and try it.
Well, I think any of us would. We've all got pretty
course.
decent armor, except him.
Yeah. What do you say,
Yeah, but-
David?
they are David's. I don't know.
No, I know. I want him to know that we value we recognize the danger inherent in this action. We value him, and we are willing to stand in to prevent his immediate and gruesome demise.
Unfortunately, I was looking up the distance a candle can be seen at night and missed what it said, which is 1.7 miles. Like the human eye can detect a candle at night on a clear day. But okay, so I'm assuming you're suggesting that I should go up the shaft, scout it out.
Wow.
With the boots on, invisibly, is my guess, because Matt and I discussed that before.
With Mike.
With Mike.
We've got the shield of flying as a backup should there something go wrong with the shoot liquid.
Totally down.
While the rest of us are waiting in the stash, and you guys carry the rug.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Also, if you go up if you close your lockets on the way up, the things might not even see you.
So I do want to ask, is our plan to stop and hang out with those skeletons that are waiting to sing us a little song, or are we just going all the way to the top?
Not if it's only two of you.
I think you should
I
go all the way
would
to the
go
top.
to the. I would go as you fly past. Look carefully and see if there's like interesting stuff behind those guys. But otherwise, I would like take the first.
Like something
first
like sitting
inlet.
on a plinth that has a big sign over it saying drive shaft and like
engine
neon
room.
glowing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so time wise, sending up the lantern, I did have this verified by the text itself. So it is exactly the same as boots levitation. So it moves 20 feet per round. Anything that moves 20 feet per round moves 60 feet per turn. It's moving up 1,100 feet. That means it's going to take 18 turns for a lantern to go up. So by the time
for a nap.
But by the time the experiment is done, it is now 11:30 in the morning. You
I'm tuckered out.
You managed to divvy up all of your loot and all that kind of stuff. But that is the speed that it takes.
Dang, that's wild. Okay.
To get all the way up to the top. So Upior, what I'm hearing now is Upior and Lothar are going to step in to their certain deaths. So choose the manner of the destructor.
All right. So before we teleport away, I want to fill my water skin with the liquid metal so that we have some in case we need some. And then I think Mort, the retainers, and I are going to go through the rug into the stash.
Yeah.
I'm giving the rug to you, Lothar. Lothar, you have the rug now.
Okay.
Taking it off my inventory and giving it to you.
I love that.
Do you have a grappling hook or do I need to give you one?
That is a wonderful question. Let me look. I have a large grappling hook and rope 50 feet.
All right. Suggest you have that ready in case you need it.
So
Elvis again.
one point of clarification. Again, I'm sorry, Matt. I got distracted on that candle. We aren't using the invisibility rings because I think we absolutely should be invisible while doing this, not just traveling in the dark.
Yeah, she's going to make you invisible. I don't know if Lothar wants to use one of our beads or not.
I think we should use the items we have, especially in our final delve. So let's both absolutely be invisible.
Okay.
There's no reason not to be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a great plan. I think we're gonna live. One other thought that I have, but may undermine the invisibility, is there might be a value in having something that is, I mean, I guess this could be holding a 10-foot pole, something that is above us so that as we ascend, if there's like some defensive, I don't know, force field
Roof of spikes?
yes, we don't Mission Impossible. Exactly. And for that reason, like, there's no reason for me to put the metallic stuff on me. I'm just going to use my boots. So I could go.
He's got the shield to fly. So you guys.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You're right. So neither of us are using it. So
No, I need to use it. The fly only lasts 2 turns.
Oh, okay.
So you do have to use it.
It's basically it's a holy crap, I'm falling to my death. Let me not fall to my death kind of thing.
Oh, I wish I had floating disc memorized right now, Lothar.
I do want to say that if I die in this thing and I have already got the experience points to level, and you bastards wouldn't let me sleep, I'm gonna haunt you.
Do you want me to go? Why
Don't
I just go up then? If you're worried?
David, I want to go have fun too. I want to go risk death.
All right, then stop minging. Okay, Mike? I don't want to hear about it one more time. If I hear the word level one more time on this fucking stream, I swear to God, I'm turning this car over. I'm kidding.
There is an issue I didn't foresee that would have prevented you from guessing the entire height, but it's out there now. So after the lantern slowly raises up for an hour, at 20 feet per round, which means you can estimate at that point that it goes up to about 360 feet. Mm-hmm. After 360 feet, it crashes back to the ground. Ooh. It doesn't go any higher. And you can see whenever it crashes back on the ground, it smashes into pieces, obviously. But you can see that where it was coated with the silvery liquid, that liquid is now dull. It's like whatever liquid is left on it, on the pieces, is dull and non-shining.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So it only went up 360 feet.
But why design this at all if it's not usable?
We can do it again if we take the stuff with us, right? Like we're doing. I have some. We can reapply at that 360 whatever level.
Can I interrupt for just one quick second? I need to take a break because my dog is really pissing me off. I will be
no worries.
Watch out, Elvis.
No worries.
Yeah, give me 1 second. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Got things settled.
Ed, I think that was a good question. You should repeat.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat the question. So, John, if I understand this right, when the lantern came back down, the liquid is dull, you said.
Yeah.
So do we interpret this? No, let me rephrase that. Does it look as if the liquid has been depleted by its journey, or whether something happened to it? Like, is there less liquid on it? Is it?
It sounds like it lost its sheen.
I'm going to make, because we're doing a lot of planning and not a lot of action. So here's the way this works. If you coat yourself with a liquid or anything that is coated in the liquid, it will last for 1 hour, and it will levitate you in this shaft specifically 20 feet per round, which is 60 feet per turn, which means that it'll take you up 360 feet per hour. Okay. But after 360 feet, it loses its effectiveness. And then
and we know that the next floor I interacted with at 350 feet, correct, John?
At 300. 250.
250. Okay. So functionally, they had to make a stop at every floor to use this.
Yep.
Right. That's just like the science of this elevator, unless they're using it to descend slowly or something like that. But
or it's only intended to go up 250 feet. Right. Like that might be that's the other guarded entrance. That's all this shaft does. It's built into an existing fissure of some kind, but the Rhodesians only cared about that bottom 250
Fair.
feet.
Also
All right,
quite fair.
So we can explore all this with these two guys flying, and we don't have to worry about it at all because you've got the boots, Mike.
Correct.
I know your shield can't last that long,
Right.
but I was just looking. Lisbeth has a potion of flight, so
I knew there was
why
one.
don't you just take that potion of flight? You guys can both fly up and down. Take some extra of the liquid with you, just so you have the mobility and the option, right? And then our regular plan should work. If you need to go all the way up and all the way down, you can. I think so. I mean, I think we have it. I think we have it kind of figured out there.
Can he nap on the
so
first 200 feet up and like get his level?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say is like just reviewing the fly spell that is what the shield specifically relates to. It actually has a movement of 120, and I get it for 3 turns. So
You
I'm
could fly
fine.
down.
I'm fine without the potion. I think the potion we either save or we have a third person come with us. Here's what I would suggest. I think we stop at the skeleton level. I think we have enough goo to get everybody up there. We're just going to go engage with those guys because I'm betting there's another reservoir of silver stuff at that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of my feeling. I think it's designed for us to go up, restock, go up, restock. How do they come back down again though? That's weird.
But the question, I hear you. The question is, what do we want out of this shaft? Do we? In other words, are we going? Sorry, I asked a question and I started rephrasing. Sorry. I'll clarify that. Is our objective to, in terms of order of operations? Because fair, Mike, is our objective to go explore the next floor because it's another Rhodesian floor, hoping that might be the engine room.
Mhm.
Valid, right? Then afterwards, regardless of what we find, continue up the shaft and explore it? Or if we find what we want in the engine room, are we giving up on the shaft altogether and coming down? Or are we planning on going up the shaft because we want to know what's throughout the entire shaft, at which point it's better to go quiet first, in my opinion, and then loud second. Does that make sense?
I like going quiet because then we can go and do it and look and make an informed decision. Take the potion of flight with you just in case you need it. That way you've got multiple,
Sure.
avenues of flight, right?
Here's the thing for me, and I'm just going to throw this out to answer David's really good question, is that if we go up and the skeletons are standing in front of the engine room door and we get what we need, I'm done. I don't need to go further up that shaft because it's at this point is just a red herring for us. It's just another thing that we want to go explore or whatever. The whole reason we're engaging with this shaft is that we think it's going to be some sort of causeway to the engine room.
One of them. Yeah. One of the landings we think is going to take us there. Yeah.
Anywho.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean,
okay. Let's do something so that we're doing something. Why don't we decide now? Let's just vote. Are we all go up as high as you can or go up to and fight the skeletons?
high as you can is what I'm voting.
I think I vote high as you
Go
can.
up to that 360 and see what you're seeing. It's possible that the metal in the walls peters out at some point and you'll know.
Or it changes color. I bet it changes color and there's like a different color liquid or something.
Right. So I'd say go up past the skeletons.
All right. So we're going to go up invisibly past the skeletons so they don't see us, ascend as far as we can. I mean, I can ascend infinitely.
So who's going?
Me and David, when we're invisible, and we're going to use the goo. And I have my shield ready and a potion in my belt pouch kind of thing.
Plug he gives you some of the leftover beeswax from yesterday.
How are you invisible?
Who's
Lisbeth
got
goes
the ring
blind
of friendly defense is going to be
for
invisible.
Upior.
For me.
Upior's taking it.
Yeah, Lisbeth
And
goes
Mike's
blind for
gonna use a
Upior.
bead.
I think Mike's using a bead, right?
Yep.
What's the duration on the bead?
Do we know?
Let me see if I've got it here. When did we get those?
Nefret. Nefret fight.
Nefret. It's not how I sorted out my treasure tracker here.
I mean, can we just assume that it's the same as a
Like a regular spell?
yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Visibility.
It's actually, believe it or not, time for our first break. So
Page 200, I think, John.
we'll just take our
managed to do nothing.
we'll take our first break and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back from break. We got the I've gotten the plan, the official plan from the group here. So I'm going to sum it up for everyone out there. So Lothar and Upior are going to be the ones that are going to enter the shaft. Lothar is going to be coated in the silvery liquid. Upior is merely going to use his boots of levitation. Lothar has backup in case the liquid fails with his shield, his kite shield of flying, and he has a potion of flying as well. Lothar is also carrying the rug, which is super important because Mort and Wolfhard are going to transfer onto that rug before they leave to go back to the stash so that hopefully they can teleport back to the rug whenever Lothar and Upior achieve their desired destination. That destination being the very top of the shaft, if at all possible. Got it? Right? Any holes in there that I missed?
That's
okay.
awesome.
Okay.
They're going to plug their ears in case the skeletons scream at them.
Now, because of my retroactive thing, it's not 11:30 anymore because the lantern couldn't go all that high; it could only go for an hour. So it's actually only 9:30 in the morning right now. There is 3 turns left in the silence that is at the base of this place, but everyone's sort of leaving this place right now, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so Lothar, you douse yourself, and the Mort and Wolfhard and the retainers, I assume as well, are also going via the rug back to the stash. Okay, you're back in the.
And Ted did mention something, John. Just it's worth noting. Matt did. We're gonna plug our ears with beeswax in case for some reason those skeletons can see invisible and decide to, audibly blast us.
Got it. Okay, good to know.
That was Matt.
Okay, so you step in now. Upior, you're used to this. You've already been up this way before. Lothar, it's a different feeling than wearing Upior's boots whenever you're coated with this. And you're like dripping off this stuff. Like you look like Silver Surfer, basically. You slowly start to rise up. Immediately when you rise up, you are aware of the fact that you can control yourself in the shaft magically. Oh. Nice. So you know that you are... you sort of are, because your plan is to sort of rise up. Your will makes you rise up, combined with the silver thing. But when you kind of put your mind to it, you realize too that you can stop and you can also go reverse. You can go back down.
And can I go faster than the 20 feet per round?
No, the speed maintains, so it's 20 feet no matter what. So you are still limited to an hour max.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. All right, moving at 20 feet per round, but that's the same as the boots of levitation, so that works out well for you, the two of you, and you're both invisible. You cannot see each other. Oh, that's not true. Upior can see Lothar. Lothar cannot see Upior.
Yeah. We're holding hands, John.
Well, not to metagame too much. Do you want to like tie a rope between the two of us, Mike? So we're like
literally just hold hands.
Okay, we'll hold hands. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
It's a moment.
Right.
It's a moment, and you rise up slowly up into the air in the magical transit shaft, and the silver grout in the tiles sort of glows as you sort of pass through it. Okay, and you rise up. So after 300 feet, Upior gives Lothar like a whispered warning that we're about to sort of face something, and indeed the same thing occurs. So to the west, there is a 40-foot wide lip, and you can see that it looks almost identical except for the facing. Because of the one that you started in with, they were from the south, but these guys are actually facing eastwards, and they're in the west. 2 giant thrones, stone thrones with the Rudishva skeletons. Okay, their eyes light up when you sort of pass into their field of view. Their jaws with their fang teeth sort of drop open, and you can hear a little bit below before you actually approach that lip. You can hear that like.
So they respond to us even though we're invisible.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Can you see beyond them, guys? Like what's behind them? Is there a drive rod, for example?
Let me see. Sorry.
Is there any light, or is it dark?
There's no light. Give me a sec. This is that one. Okay. Got to get to the map here. A lot of level jumping, so it's every time I have to sort of readjust. Okay, so yep. Okay, so yep. So so they are on the ledge 40 feet wide, north to south. The room itself, not the shaft, but like the room that the chairs are in, is on 30 feet east to west. Directly in the middle of the western wall, there is an iris door that is closed, and you see the panel there. And that is all that is in the room.
Okay. John, as Mike, are you okay continuing to ascend past them so they don't throw anything at us since they can see us?
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Once we pass their field of vision, now that we know that our invisibility is not protecting us from their seeing us, do you want, maybe I'll like pop up my locket so we can see the tunnel itself
I
better?
might as well. Yeah,
So I'm gonna pop my light on so that I can actually see the walls, see any like changes, knowing again, like you said, that something happened at about 360 feet. Although we think it's just, time-based.
Duration. Yeah.
Just in case. Right. Because I think Ed's point was very well said about the rock changing.
Okay. So you so that was at 250 feet.
Mm-hmm.
According to your lantern trick, that so you're gonna, let's see. So what did I say? 360. So yeah. Okay. All right. So you go up for another. What is that? 360 minus 250 is 110.
110.
110.
Yeah. So you have time. Like, I'm not going to say like it just fails after that amount of time. So if you want something, that Lothar's coating will be no longer effective after 110 more feet.
I'll give him a squeeze just as a reminder.
Yeah. Beep, beep. And when so you're rising slowly up, and there is no other lip up to that point.
Okay.
Okay. So you move past the 300 feet, and then you're approaching the 360 mark.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's
So
going to
now
fail.
we have a decision to make, dude. Like, I'm going to have to use my shield.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can break up its use. It says, 3 turns per day. I don't know if that means I can just activate it once and it lasts for 3 turns, or can I activate it, use it for a turn, turn it off, and then activate it again?
No, I think it's like you activate it in
3 turns.
for 3 turns. Yeah.
So that gives you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say I can fly all the way back down to the bottom. I'm like
You
rocket
can fly all the way to the
fast.
top, Mike. If it's 120 feet per round,
Yeah.
that's like what, 800 feet per turn? You can get to the top. 700
It'd be 120 times
times 6. So
times
720 feet. 2 rounds, you're at the top. Boom. Or 2 turns, sorry.
I mean, we're at 360 now. It's 1100 up. It's 1 turn. He's at the top. It's 100. It's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. You're
So
already
in
at
1
360.
turn. In 1 turn, he can be at the top
and he could be back down in another turn to you.
to me.
And you're
Uh,
invisible, so that's pretty good. Yeah.
The shaft
So-
has still got the metal in it. John?
All right. Then I'm just going to
Yeah.
say to David, I'm going to go to the top.
I can see you because of my circlet, so
Sure.
I'll keep an eye on you. I'm going to continue to slowly ascend, just so I'm not like lagging behind too much.
Right.
But I will, whistle when you're near me again in case you're coming back down, just so you're not, you don't overshoot me. Or I'll just say, hey, it's me. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter,
No
right?
problem.
So are you using the shield or the potion, Lothar?
I have the potion in reserve. I'm going to use the shield for now.
Okay,
Perfect.
so you're on a three turn limit then, right?
Yeah. Return limit. And
So how much time passed? We went up for an hour, right?
Correct.
6 turns.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now you've got a 3. Okay, that works out nice because right at 11 a.m. your potion of flying will fail. Okay. It is now 10:30 in the morning. All right. So Lothar is like, see ya. And so Upior, you sort of go up slowly, and then Lothar is like, all right. So you look like a superhero basically, Lothar, because your shield ignites, so you're like Captain America, and you're like, when you jet
cool.
off with one arm.
I have my locket open, John, so I'm casting light too, so I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we ruled that light does emanate from invisibility, right? So it's just sort of like, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's why the back goes before.
Sourceless light flying around.
Yeah.
okay, so I guess I'll stick with Lothar then, since you're fucking rocketing up. So you rocket up as fast as you can. After another 200 feet from the second pair of Radishva, you let's see. I gotta switch between a whole bunch of shit here. Sorry. What does this one look like? Okay. All right. So after 200 feet, there is another lip, 40 feet wide, that opens up to the west. Okay. There are 2 thrones there as well. Hold on. Yeah. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no, he's
I read all this stuff, but it's like each level, there's like a bunch of different stuff each level, so it makes me forget. Yeah. Okay.
So while you're reading, I just get as far away from Mort inside our treasure stash just to make sure the party is as distant from each other as conceivably possible.
Yeah. Okay. So there's another, actually this opening is only 20 feet. It's only a 20-foot wide opening. So it's much narrower. There are 2 stone chairs there that are about 25 feet away from the lip, like towards the west. Okay. And they're angled a little bit. They're not like just front facing. It looks like they are angled to accommodate the fact so that the skeletons that are sitting in them, and there are indeed 2 skeletons that are sitting in them, can sort of face that narrower opening. You understand? So they're sort of angled towards each other a little bit and looking that direction. And the skeletons are there, and their eyes light up when you come into view. However, Lothar, as you're sort of like gunning, going straight up, and you kind of expected that, maybe not the narrower opening, but the thing that really catches your eye is that on the far wall of the transit shaft, so directly to your right. Right. So if you look to your left, you're looking at the Radishva, but you're looking at the far wall of the transit shaft to your right. There is a dwarf corpse that is impaled on the transit shaft wall. And it looks like it's been impaled by multiple femurs.
I love it. Don't get hit by one of these femurs. Oof.
Do we know him?
Boned. He was
Anyone
boned.
familiar?
He appears to be wearing chainmail looped in his belt. Unfortunately, appears to be a lovely looking battle axe, single bladed, of course. And there is dangling from his neck, sort of hidden a little bit by his scraggly beard, is an inert dwarven lifestone.
So is he like pinned to the wall like a butterfly in a bug collection?
Pretty much. I mean, he's just sort of like draped, and like through his chest is like a couple of femurs that are just like rocketed right into the wall.
Is he
How fresh
fresh?
is he?
Huh?
Is
How
he
fresh
fresh?
is he?
He's not that fresh. He's been there for a while.
Okay.
So, but you're going at a steady pace. Did you want to slow down and investigate?
Please?
I
Forget to say
do.
please, John.
If you just grab something as you go by, Mike, just roll a d6 and you could end up with any number of different things.
What-
Like,
what
on
is
the
an
way
egg?
down, you dive bomb him on the way down is what you do.
What is an
It's a-
inert dwarven lifestone?
I think it doesn't make any difference. It's inert.
Yeah, you don't.
Dead,
So
dead dwarf.
at the speed you're going, which is really fucking fast. If you
Huh.
wanted to grab something on the way, you had like a 1 in 6 chance of grabbing anything random.
Let's do it. I love it.
All right, roll.
5.
Okay, you're like, what the fuck is that? Oh, yeah, and you're still.
All right. Well,
You got like a
All right.
dwarf jaw.
So you keep going, and you go another 600 feet. Up and up you go.
mhm.
Give me one moment as I hyperlink the fuck out of things. Where are you here? Transit shaft. There we are. Okay. Checking out maps. 1 second. There you are. The good thing is on these maps, like it's real easy to spot the transit shaft.
Sorry, just to clarify, are they at 600 feet or there's an additional?
An additional 600
So
feet.
we're past 1,100 feet at this point.
You're at 1160.
Well, you're at 11. I mean, you're at 1100 right now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So finally, at the top, okay, which is technically this would be the first time you discover that it's 1100, you know, but you finally approach Lothar, and you see like there is a ceiling of stone above you. Okay. As you sort of hover there in midair, you can kind of take a look around. The transit shaft itself dominates this chamber that you're in. It is fully plasteel. There is only a 5-foot walkway of plasteel that sort of is all around 3 of the sides of the transit shaft. However, the southern side of the transit shaft actually opens up into a larger plasteel chamber, which is dominated only about 5 feet away from you by a black granite basin filled with bubbling silvery liquid. Okay. On 5 feet away on the western wall of plasteel, so you know all you have to do is reach out. There is a large Irish door. Irish. It's an Irish door. It's an Irish door.
Top of the morning to you. Nice to see you at the top of my
A big old
shaft.
shamrock on the door. There's an Irish door with a panel next to it.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, am I at the top now? I kind of lost.
You are at the top.
Okay. I am going to step off onto the ledge. Are there? And then there's no like skeletons there, right?
There are no skeletons. There are no chairs. And the only place to sort of like easily maneuver is to the south, where there's this giant black granite basin.
Okay. I'm going to step off to the ledge.
Okay.
How much time left do I have on my shield?
I don't know. You went up.
Said it was a turn up, right, guys? So I have 2 more turns.
You want to toss it down to me so I can
720
catch up
feet
with
per
you?
turn. So
I think I have 2 turns. So let's just call it 2 turns.
Perfect.
Okay.
One thing I didn't consider in this is it's going to take me like 10 turns to catch up to you, and they can just teleport in. So
yeah, we're all gonna be like, "Where you been, man?"
John, when you're
I did not think about that.
when he's flying, could he like fly back down, grab Upior, and then fly back up?
Yeah, if you wanted to. Yeah.
That would speed it
I
up.
can do that. I'll do that. That's fine.
Hold my hand.
Oh, and then
darling.
you can get another swipe at the dead dwarf.
There you go.
What did we say roughly for? Did we say
Sorry.
like what one turn to get all the way up to the top? With
And just
flying?
give you a map again,
one turn.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's going to be Lothar's entire journey, which is going all the way up, kind of seeing what's around, being like, okay, sweet, looks relatively safe, going back down for Upior, then going back up again. I'm going to call it 3 turns. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then your shield is now expended.
Yep.
Okay. So and then once you guys alight safely at the top of the shaft onto the plasteel floor, you're going to lay out the rug and use a ring of friendly defense to sort of tell people to come back. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the part.
Or you could even teleport over and say, hey. But
Okay, so for about a half hour, you guys have been chilling within the depths of the pyramid back in the Dubouche level, just being totally unnerved by your Heketi statue, but then being consoled by the massive amounts of heaped treasure that are also in that room.
playing a little
but-
ping pong, doing some foosball.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get the call, and you're like, all right, vacation's over. And you pop back into a chamber that is very different than the one you left, but it looks relatively safe. So back to mapping. Ted.
Yep.
Let's stick with the Bastion map. Okay.
Okay, let me just get back. I don't know if it's quite to scale, but I was drawing a little cross section of the transit shaft on our cross section map.
Looks great.
Okay.
Uh,
But back
it's
at
not
the,
to scale to the rest of it, but we can fix it later. Okay,
Good
back to the
Bastion map. Zoom out a little bit.
Okay,
Okay. Can you see me right like here?
I can.
Okay, so start your shit right there. Okay.
Okay, so this room is what?
Okay.
How big is this room?
So first of all, the transit shaft itself is well, fuck it. Let's just do the room. The room, again, no right angles, but generally I'm going to give you the dimensions in those terms, is 50 feet east to west. And the section of the room that the transit shaft is in is also 50 feet north to south. So sort of, but leave the southern wall open because I have more to describe there. Okay.
Okay.
So draw the 3 other sides. Okay. Oh, I'll switch over to Miro for the people at home. Guess Ted works his magic. Yes.
While
okay.
Ted's drawing,
Now,
I dropped a couple of things in the stash. They're not that important. We'll go for it.
Okay. In the center of that area, directly in the center, it's dominated by the transit shaft itself. There's only a 5-foot walkway that circumnavigates the 3 sides there. Okay. Yeah. So you're splitting the difference between those squares. You got it. Yep. In the middle of the western wall is an Irish door. An Irish door. Okay. And then 5 feet south of the transit shaft is a 20-foot wide basin, a black granite basin. Okay. And that is bubbling with the silvery opalescent liquid.
I'm sorry.
So
How,
5 feet,
where
5 feet south of the transit shaft.
Is it
there is
like so?
Yeah. Yeah. So right here, let's see my thing. This is the center of the circle.
Oh. Okay. Total the phone.
It's 20 feet wide, 20 feet diameter.
Oh, it's 20-foot diameter?
Yeah, it's a big ass thing.
Oh wow, that's a lot of juice.
Much bigger than the pool that you entered in. Perhaps because it's the top of the shaft. Who knows?
Okay.
Now, the eastern wall goes all the way down to the southern end of that pool. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just drop it straight down until it reaches the southern end of the pool. Right? Yeah, right there. Exactly. Yeah. Then it actually goes at a 45-degree angle for another 40 feet.
Which way?
Southwest. Okay.
40 feet?
Yeah, and that section of plasteel corridor is actually really wide. It's about 20 feet wide. And it ends on the southwestern end, right in the middle of the wall, another very large iris door. Okay. Okay.
All right.
John,
so
does the circuit of Gondor
hold on,
stay
David.
the same?
Hold on, David.
Yeah.
There's the 45-degree angle is a 10-foot wide corridor or something?
No, so it's like it's about 20 feet wide. So it's pretty wide.
So like this?
Yeah, and then it sort of curves around to connect with the western wall. And you pretty much got it. But there's enough like a walkway along the western side of the pool there. Yeah.
And there's a door here?
Yeah, exactly. There's an iris door right there.
Okay.
And you basically got it. Yeah. Sorry, that's a little complicated.
And is that iris door? Sorry.
So first of all, I actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I mean, it's hard to parse this kind of stuff because I got to jump between pages. But actually, when you were at the very bottom of the shaft, you probably would have seen that the very top of the shaft was lit. So this room does have a continual light spell cast at the top of the 30-foot ceiling right here. Nice, bright, clean, steady light. The entire floor is completely free of dust and dirt. There is the black granite basin, about 3 feet deep of the sparkly liquid. And the room itself is sheathed on all sides with white marble panels. Yeah. Similar to the ones in the shaft itself.
Okay.
And you said it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
This iris door, John, is bigger, smaller, same size as the other one.
They're both the same size, but they're both larger than most other iris doors you've seen.
Okay. There was a door that Onweir got electrocuted by after we did. It was a tomb, though. It was designated as a right. There was glyphs on it.
Yeah, it was in the chasm.
Correct. It was above the chasm. It was just a door at a 45-degree angle and a wedge that looked like it might fit this segment. So I had to go look, but
it's a good question.
Not the case.
I don't think the transit shaft would fit. But let me look real quick. Miro is starting to get a little overwhelmed.
I'm up here. I think I'm probably wrong. I was just curious. I was trying to place
there's
it.
room.
There's like, I don't know.
Could be.
It would make sense if
That would be
the
freaking great, man. If
it would
that's-
make yes, and it would make sense if the Arcantians had like retrofit a tomb door
Oh,
on the other side. I don't know.
I hope you're right,
Computed
David. I
me.
really
Well,
do.
let's pick one and
Let's
open it,
just
man.
open it.
I'm dying.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
let's try
do you wanna
the
do the
let's
one
try
by the
the
staff or
bottom
the-
iris door,
The
man.
shaft, the big one down the bottom.
The big one on the bottom. Let's try it.
You want me to do it while I'm still invisible, or just so if we open it and there's an army on the other side?
I mean, David, I'm permanently invisible for now.
Sure.
Like,
And he's got more hit points than you.
barely.
go check it out.
Are you both still
not as many
invisible?
hit points as if I were 7th level.
Upior, do you stay invisible?
I mean, at this point, if the group is reunited, we can deactivate the ring. Elizabeth doesn't need to be blind, right?
Yeah,
so
she's more useful
let's
if she
turn
can
it
see.
off for now.
Okay, so Lothar's invisible.
And we'll let
okay.
Mike do it. Yeah.
Okay, so
Mike.
you're gonna
We'll all
Mike.
hide around the corner, and Mike can go up there all by himself.
We don't know what kind of key card it takes, though. Somebody give me the good one.
I'm not going to give it to you because you'll never give it back. This is
Mort will just come with you. It's fine.
I guess Onweir will go open the door. Don't worry about it. Onweir, I mean Upior. Sorry. Yeah.
We
No,
all
you
go
can,
in.
You can
Okay.
borrow it. You can borrow it.
Okay, I go open the door, John.
Okay, so you can hear Lothar kind of go up to the door, and you hear like a boop beep, and the iris door goes shink, and it opens up into a very strange room.
Oh,
Did you want it to be boring?
I wanted it to be the chasm, like David was thinking.
It is
That
not.
would
The
have been
chasm.
awesome. Okay.
What you find yourself in is an octagonal room. Aren't you happy, Ted? Ted's like, fuck.
Oh, an octagonal room.
An
That's what I
octagonal.
needed.
It's an octagonal room. It is at its across the top and bottom. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, hold on. Miro's freaking out on me.
I want to hear about your problems, Ted.
Yeah, you do.
It is 50 feet across north and south. It's a perfect octagon. Okay, and you are obviously entering in from the northeast facet of it. Okay, there are doors at every single on each of the facets, like right in the middle of each of the facets. Okay, but they vary in what they look like. So don't go crazy with them yet, Ted. Just
Hold on. He made a hexagram.
He did.
Stop sign, Ted.
Oh, yep. Okay, see, this is why.
Okay. So the
gotta
chamber
ask
itself
questions.
rises to, I'm just going to describe as Ted gets out the thing. Don't write the doors in yet, though. Okay. There are, the chamber itself is about 35 feet high, so it's quite tall. There are slabs of blue granite that sheathe the walls, and those slabs are each 5 feet by 5 feet. So they are not the entire walls, right? They're sort of like, almost look like decorative pieces of granite that have been attached to the walls. In the exact center of the room is a 15-foot diameter raised dais that's about 3 foot off the ground. Okay, in the exact center of the room. Directly across from you, on the southwestern face of the octagon, there are a pair of double doors that are huge, and they are bronze, and they are broken and open. Okay. You're coming through the lone iris door in the chamber. It is the only one. The rest, which are on each one of the faces, other than the bronze door on the southwest, are iron-bound wood, just like Arcantian doors that you've seen before. Okay. So in the central dais, on top of it there is a 5 foot tall lump of weathered, shapeless stone. It's impossible to detect like what it used to be. Okay. However, just in front of that lump, facing the broken bronze doors, so you're it's a little bit obscured, like you can't get quite a beat on it because you're kind of looking at The lump is sort of blocking your view. Directly in front of it, facing the bronze doors, is a newer statue, which is obviously of a human, with one arm pointing forward towards the bronze doors, and the other clasping a bundle of rods to his breast. Okay.
Various tricotor or something.
So you're looking at the back of it, right? It's slightly obscured by this shapeless lump that was actually that was meant to be on the dais. It's obviously that this newer statue was placed after, right? And it's facing the doors and it's pointing at those doors. It's holding a bundle of rods.
I want to get close enough to see the bundle of rods, John. Are they those rods that we have, like the goldenrod and the ones that we saw in the captains?
Are you telling me, Wolford, that you are stepping through the Irish door into the chamber to get a closer look?
It's a fascia.
100% I am. He's got those rod things on it, and I want to see them.
Okay.
It's a fascist fascia, man. I wouldn't do it, but okay.
Ted, you are exactly right. It is a fascia. Is that how you pronounce it? Fascia?
That's how I pronounce it. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't read too much into it. It is where the term fascist comes from. But yeah, it's the bundle of rods, which was a symbol of authority in Roman times. But in this case, it is the Arcontian times. Yes. So it's a symbol of authority. Now, when you go around to face it, Wolford, you can see that there is a plaque at the base of this newer statue. And it reads, in modern Arcontian, it says, Adrianic, Governor of Arden Vul, 2759 AEP.
Is that Lost Expedition guy?
It is indeed.
Our old man was on that. Remember him?
What was his name?
Anaximander.
That's the one.
Anaximander, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the other doors, John?
They're on each one of the faces. The figure is dressed in a toga-like garment. He has sandals, a torque, and a circlet around his brow. The statue is made out of white marble. It looks like there was at one point inset gemstones in that marble, but they are gone. The statue, when you look at it, Wolford, you can see now that it has been badly vandalized with unreadable graffiti, excrement, all sorts of nasty stuff. Like someone was deliberately fucking with the statue.
Like a goblin would do?
Yeah, can I tell what kind of excrement it is, John?
You have to taste
I
it.
do know my poop.
You got to taste it.
Come here, Mort.
All right. Well, so much for me.
I mean, like
stealthing ahead invisibly, like Wolford's just like.
we opened the door, and I wanted to see the statue.
All
right. Well, I'm gonna start listening at the other doors there, John.
Okay.
Start with the big double doors.
They're open, aren't they?
They are.
Oh yeah, right. They're broken. All right, then I'm gonna peek through those bad boys instead.
Are they smashed inward towards us, John?
They
or
are smashed away. They are smashed outward.
Oh, so something was in here and got out. Huh.
Yeah, the only other octagonal room I can remember is when we were in the halls of Thoth and we all ate shit when someone, took a ring off of a corpse somewhere in the Hall of Horrors.
The prison layer was also octagonal, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. There was an octagonal something down there. Yeah.
This feels very much like a junction between like modern Arcontian whatever and the Rodifsha.
Oh my God.
He's still cute.
He's just doing it on purpose.
We're gonna have to do it again. All right. So here's the thing. I can't stand closed doors, but I think it's very unlikely that any of these doors here lead to the engine room.
Probably
right? Like,
not.
why would an Arcontian door lead to
except that the ship was broken up when it phased into the rock, right? So there are parts of spaceship that do not connect to other parts of spaceship.
For what it's worth, if we're worried about, aside from the doors that are already open, if we're worried about death on the other side of the others, do you want to check the other? I can't talk right now. I'm sorry. Do you want to check the other Irish store before we start popping open these?
Yes,
there is another Irish
That's
store.
a very good idea, David.
The one by the shaft. I like that too. Just in case.
Gotcha, that one up there. Yeah.
Not to derail us, but it might be a safer bet to start
Yep.
Really?
Oh no!
Oh, I hate that.
Okay. Well,
I'm still invisible.
No, I don't think we should abandon this octagonal room, though, even though it's our content. I think there's
I
a
agree, but I like looking in the other one. I don't
just
like
enough.
having closed doors behind where we need to go.
Can I just make one suggestion, guys, before we go on that narrow 5-foot walkway over the abyss of death? I'm going to dip myself in silver liquid before we go and investigate that door.
In case you get knocked over it.
Yep. Yupper doodle.
I'm sorry. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mike?
I'm taking a little bath in the basin of mercury or whatever it is.
Okay. Is anyone
Before
else?
I go to that doorway on the narrow walkway.
I am not.
No one else taking
I
a
will
bath?
pick up. I will pick up the rug off the ground, though.
Okay. Make sure you
Yeah,
write it down.
retrieving the rug is good. Yeah, Mort will take a bath just in case.
Okay.
Wolford, he thinks that's a good idea. He'll do it. Besides, he thinks it looks funky.
And the retainers?
Yes, Barrios gets every nook and cranny of his beastly form
Okay.
well
I
coated.
was a little too interested in our details here. Like usually he's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
That takes another turn.
Elizabeth thinks it's gross. She does not want to do it.
Okay, so you guys are, most of you are drippings with goo, and you who scans the pass?
I'll do it. Oh, sure.
Oh, go ahead.
Don't we want the invisible guy to do it?
Nah, Mort will
You
do
just
it.
ran in anyway last time. What does it matter?
Who's doing it?
Mort's got it. He's got it.
I'll just have it on record. Yeah, I have the gold one back in my possession. I have that on record.
Mort, you're using a silver plaque to open the door?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Mort, you open the door. Beep, beep, zhink, and opens up. It reveals before you a very interesting sight.
Oh, no.
A 10-foot wide corridor heading directly west in the dark. With your infravision, you can see that it does go for, let's see, it goes for about 40 feet before it slightly curves towards the southwest, just very slightly. Like not a 45, like much less than that. Okay. It also widens at the point where it starts to curve towards the southwest slightly. Okay. Let's see. Let me make sure I get the description right here.
Is it plasteel?
That's the key here. It is not plasteel.
Mm.
It is black granite that sheathes the entire thing. Ceiling, walls, floor, everything is black stone, expertly cut. It looks like it's been like affixed to the stone of Arden Vul, right? So it's big plates. They're at eye level. There is a 3-foot tall frieze of extremely complex and busy sculpture that runs along the entire wall, like on either side, like off into the distance, right, off into the darkness.
Yeah.
At eye level. It depicts a bewildering variety of strange beings. The only one that you sort of recognize in this sort of very highly stylized art is tall, skinny bipeds with small horns, long, spindly hands, wearing all sorts of different sort of uniforms and dresses and clothes and things like that. All of them are always depicted along the friezes of directing, commanding, beating, slaying, and otherwise dominating a range of other strange alien creatures. The style itself features writhing, sinuous figures along the entire thing in constant movement. And it's surrounded by carved flowers and other decorative elements. Very, very strange, very, very alien, and there is no inch of space along the frieze that has not been carved in some fashion. So even if it's not depicting a scene or figure, it has a decorative element in it. It's extremely busy, right? So it runs the entire length of the thing along this dark passageway, right? Just seems to like drink light.
And is that also black granite, or is that a different stone?
It is also black granite. It looks like it was actually had like polychromal elements to it at one point, but those have since sort of eroded over time. Now let me take a look at the map here. So past the distance where it curves to the southwest there, Ted, there is
Yeah.
just the slightest indication of flickering light. Okay. You can also tell that there is the temperature here is slightly warmer than where you left from the transit shaft. Okay.
That might be good.
Here as well.
Does my circlet's true scene pick up on anything on the reliefs on the wall or in the passages around us?
No, it does not.
Okay.
But
Do
there's
those I'm sorry. Do those long sinuous figures look like the Kalyani that we've seen? We saw the dead one, and
you can't see right now. Like Mort is the only one that has opened the door right now, so you're kind of looking out over his shoulder, so you can't really see that much. Because I'm just giving you the basic layout, but something happens when you open the door. Whenever you drink this in.
Way to bury the lead, John.
Yeah. Right before you, directly on the other side of the door, when you open it up, there are 3 desiccated corpses. Their vestments torn and their bodies battered, but you can easily see that they are wearing the orange robes of priests of Thoth. Okay. And the moment you open the door, 3 spirits rise out of those corpses. Taking the form of what they probably look like in life, but obviously, but 2 of them have a dark aspect to them. They look more like shadowy figures with kind of baleful white eyes that open their mouths at you and looks like they just want to drink your soul. More the other one though looks much, even though it's floating and wraith-like the other 2, is more of like a white color, and it looks at you beseechingly as it sort of rises up, and it holds out like a warning hand. And it sort of shouts out in Mithric, and you can all hear it, and you can all see this as well. And it says, "Watch out for my brethren! They mean you harm." As the 2 other ones behind them sort of rush to attack you, Mort.
Is it possible to just close the iris?
Probably not without rolling for initiative first. I would say.
oh dear,
I assumed you would say that, but one never knows.
can't hurt to ask.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
So you're not engaged with them.
might
You're
hurt.
not engaged with them in melee. But I will ask if anyone's declaring spells. You can all see the threat, but only Mort can face it without you bodily removing Mort from the door frame. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to be casting a spell, John.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm going to be turning undead.
Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay. Roll for initiative, please.
No. Ted, I
got
think
a
you should.
4.
I got a
Go,
6.
Ted, go.
I got a 6. Okay.
Ooh.
4's pretty good.
Okay. And you see him, the one like good ghost, the good guy. He says, "No, brethren, no!" As they sort of and they sort of do the Ghostbusters librarian attack towards you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Boom. Where are you? There you are. What's your AC?
20.
20. Really? You're not wearing. No, you're just wearing. You know your AC. You're not wearing anything weird that you don't know about, right? Yeah. Okay.
No. Barrios has something I don't know about, but Mort knows all his stuff that he's wearing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they lunge towards you. The good ghost sort of tries to intercept, but they kind of they move right through him because he's immaterial, and they go towards you.
Okay.
And you lurch back in alarm into your friends, and their claws can't find purchase. All right, your turn.
Excellent. Mike.
Okay. Well, my friendly specters, have you heard the good word of Odin? And then I present my holy symbol, and I will roll 2d6. I will get a 6 for my first 2d6 roll.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great.
And then
Only he were level 7.
And then I got a 7 for I think the number of hit dice.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, crap. All right, look up a monster. One moment.
Now, see, that's not fair.
Lines.
We don't have monsters.
It is we who are the monsters, Matt. It is we.
Oh, okay.
Especially me.
You're 6th level and you rolled a 6 on your turning die?
Correct, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that doesn't seem to affect them.
Okay.
If only he would have a
Then can Mort use his action to close the iris?
You are now engaged with them, so you cannot. Well, you can close the iris. No, you can't. You can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Mort will attempt to bring fearsome battle to their bodies with the pin. And is there room for Barrios to jump in to aid his extremely good friend Mort?
Yeah, I would say like one other person could be alongside you. Yeah.
All right, good. Mort missed. So Barrios hits AC 17.
17 is a hit.
All right.
What's
So
he
the Spear of Scleros does 9 points of damage to one of the unpleasant creatures.
Even though it's incorporeal, the spear does find purchase, and the race screams in fury and anger and turns its gaze upon Barrios.
Is there a way that you guys can like back up so that more people can get there to help?
So
you do a fighting withdrawal.
They will have to declare that next turn. Yeah. Which is now. So declarations of melee movement or spells.
By the way, on that last turn, Elizabeth took out the Yakin's bones.
Okay. So Mort and Barrios, if you do a fighting withdrawal or retreat, like you declare one right now, and you win initiative, you would be able to sort of retreat back and then close the iris door without them being able to follow you. But it's all dependent upon you first declaring it and then also winning initiative. Yeah. You understand? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Matt, the problem with your plan is that it's a 5-foot wide ledge out here. There's nowhere for anyone else to get in.
You got to back up to that over by the pool.
You dipped yourself.
I'm sure that we could jump off the cliff all dipped. Yes. I don't know that we can still fight necessarily. But my point being that, like, if I step away from the door, I'm not closing it. So
I mean, if we lose initiative, you might as well, right? Oh, okay. You do what you want.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So declarations, melee movement.
So we'll try to fighting retreat so that we can close the door. That's what Mort and Barrios are going to do.
Cool.
Yes.
Anyone declaring spells? No. Okay. Roll for initiative, please.
I botched it. So
what do you mean you botched it? Because I got a 1.
No, last turn I rolled a 4.
He lost
so
I'll roll this time. I got a 4.
Okay, good. It's
okay.
You guys first. So that's great. So Mort and Barrios, you guys retreat back.
Yep.
Are you going to close the door?
Mort will close the door.
Okay, shink. Okay, and they try to reach through, and then the good ghost, he's like, "Friends, no, wait." And you're like, "No, fuck you." Shink. And doors closed. Out of combat is they can't phase through, so you're good.
Okay.
That took a turn.
All right.
Brutal.
Sounds like a good time for a break, huh, John?
Yeah. About that time.
Listen, I've got alarms on my watch. Mm-hmm. I know when the breaks are. It's not for another 5 minutes. Do you have to pee really bad?
Okay. I kind of have
little
to
bit.
Okay. All right. We'll take an early break.
Your ghosts are scary, John.
For the super old men. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right. Mort and Barrios have slammed the door on the wraiths. One got pretty fucked up by Barrios, and one seems to be pleading for you, pleading to speak, pleading for his companions not to hurt you, to little avail. But anyways, what do you do now that you're back? So you're all sort of arrayed around this like very narrow lip of the transit shaft. Most of you are drippings with goo. What do you do?
I want to go back in there and lump them up, guys. I want to talk to this ghost.
No, you don't. Because if they're wraiths, they'll suck your level, and then you will be really upset.
Oh, yeah, that would suck for you.
You
actually suck for any of us.
It would suck for any of us. Mike would probably actually pop a corpuscle if that happened to him.
True.
So,
I've summoned Whiskey Mike for the rest of the evening. So
oh shit!
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
back in. Where's Mike going to get fucked up?
See,
So
say goodbye to
do we
that
wanna-
level.
Do we want to loop around and go through some of the iron doors and see if they connect up with that hallway that curves to the south?
So
Why not? Let's open some doors, man. Let's see what's
I'm all in
around.
favor of opening doors. Absolutely. If we're trying to keep our eyes on the prize, I kind of feel like the engineering level was probably that narrower ledge we passed, that you guys passed. That's just my guess.
It's so hard.
kinda gut feeling.
I know it's so hard to tell, but we're here and we should look. You guys had a good point that it may not be directly attached to this, but off a little bit. I think we should look around a little.
Yeah.
So back into the octagonal room.
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe,
So you make
maybe wipe off some of the goo.
yeah, wiping off the goo is like not even. It's like super easy to do. You can clean yourself off like very easily.
That one's
ID
just
goo.
like shake like dogs, and it's,
You pretty much could, yeah.
Yeah.
You can get rid of it all. So,
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys divest yourself with the liquid, that's fine. Noted. And you go back into the octagonal chamber. Yes.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
What o'clock, guys?
it's like it's night and day, the difference between like this octagonal chamber and that strange black corridor that you were just in. Obviously, because of the freeze, you can determine that it was Rudishvan made, but it's like no other Rudishva area you've ever seen, right? It's almost like a sinister element to it, just because everything else Rudishva has been so clean and white, right? And this is like dark black, with like these crazy freezes of them just like dominating the galactic races, very different.
We've surmised before that there were sort of different phases of the Radishvans living here. There was, an initial phase of Radishvans that were sort of the stranded survivors. And then we've run across evidence, if I'm not mistaken, that at some point they were kind of a political power that were kind of dominating other people or something. Or was that back home maybe that they were like that?
Yeah, I think the hologram told us like that's their social structure, right? Like they're the dominant race and they kind of lord over the other two servant races.
Yes.
Right. But I mean, like, there were a limited number of survivors. Didn't we find physical evidence that at some point there was a sort of a Rudishvan empire here in a sense, right?
Yes.
Like
Well, they attempted to continue what they called the Rudishvan hegemony here in Arden Vul. Because they crashed with members of their servitor races that was on the Shining Beacon.
Right.
But then it looks like one of those servitor races, the Kalyani, got a little fed up with that.
As you would.
And decided to rebel.
I mean, this seems...
Key to that, though, is that the Kalyani, the reason they were able to effect that ambush was because they aligned with the hated Heketi.
Right.
Like this seems like the place maybe where they lived, right? Like this is... If they lived here, they would have plenty of time to decorate these freezes and document their oppression by the Radishvans. So this might very well be what they did, their place.
Now,
that's kind of what I'm getting at here, is that this was intentionally separating their hegemony from their origins as a crashed spaceship, which is down the shaft, and only a Radishvan could get down there. But that makes me wonder about why what's his name, Adrianic has a statue there. Like maybe when they came in, they conquered up to this point and couldn't get any further.
Well, it's quite what I was pointing out was the difference here is the octagonal chamber that you're in now is markedly not Rudishvan. The only thing Rudishvan in here is that iris door. Yeah.
Right.
Well, what if so that we can move? Do we want to open some of these doors and just peek around and see if there are more irises or more hallways?
Roll a random D8. Door 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the north door. Let's open the north door.
The north.
You want me to gaze at them with the circlet before we do any opening?
Yep.
Good idea.
Okay. So, Upior, when you sort of make your grand entrance into the chamber, you take a look around and step in Wolfherd's footsteps. You notice that all of the doors are not magical, nor do they conceal any secret doors. I mean, they're all, they're doors. However, when you gaze upon the statue of brave Adrianic pointing his finger at the bronze door, you can see that there is a secret door beneath the statue of Adrianic.
New plan.
Yep. I would like to open that secret door.
So it's only the presence of a secret door. You do not gain them the intel
True.
on how to do it.
I don't.
So
I
if
don't
you
see
tell
the
us,
switch.
yeah, let's all start
So I'll say
poking
there's
around.
a secret door under there, gang. Let's do a little bit of sleuthing.
So let's look at his feet at the base of the statue to see if it can like rotate. That's an easy one.
Or we'll go stand at the bronze doors. and
That's
keep
what I
an
was
eye
just
on-
about to say. I'm going to go do that too. I'm going to go keep watch at the bronze doors.
Okay.
Keep watch of the bronze doors. Okay, so just real quick, I'm not going to give you too much detail because you're more focused on watching what Upior is doing, but you can see that right beyond the bronze doors, darkness, but like right beyond, like a couple feet in the center of whatever chamber lies beyond, is a massive pillar, about 6 feet wide, and it's made
Like how far away? Like 20 feet away? Or
no, like 2 feet right beyond the broken doors. It's like right there and right there beyond the doors. Okay. And there is a massive pillar that goes up. I'm not going to just like, again, you just sort of note this and then you sort of turn back towards Upior. But one thing that sends shivers down your spine, Lothar and Wolfhard, is that the pillar, massive and large, is constructive of a pebbly, greasy stone.
I did wonder when we were going to run into that. Okay.
And
Wolfhard-
it's in darkness. Now, the other thing that you notice too, when you go step up to the bronze doors there, is that there are keyholes in both of those doors, and both keyholes in the area around them looks like they have been melted with extreme heat at some point, but only around the keyholes. All right. Now, back to the statue. Upior and who else was looking around for secret doors?
Wolfhard was
Oh, I'm
going to
sorry.
try to like move the statue and stuff, like check
All
it
right,
out.
so
See
it's
if it
more.
can move.
Yeah, okay. So the two of you do notice that the statue is movable. It can be shifted to the left and right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Wolfhard will, with his mighty thews, push it aside.
Okay, so and you push it aside. It reveals a square opening that goes directly into the stone floor of the chamber. It's about 3 feet by 3 feet, and
So
inside
it's on the dais, right? It's on the dais?
it's on the dais. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like a perfectly cut 3 foot by 3 foot. Basically the dimensions of the base of the statue, and it goes down for 6 feet. Why 6 feet? Because inside that dark hole, you see that there is a shrouded, wrapped corpse
Ooh.
that is draped with numerous objects.
Any of which ping magical?
Yes, lots of stuff pings magical. Well, not a lot. I take that back. A few things ping magical.
Do you suppose it's Adrianic?
Sure
I bet
could
it
be.
is.
Well, this is obviously one of those things that jumps out and tries to kill you.
Not me. I'm 15 feet away.
You want to light it on fire, Wolford?
Well, let's look down there first. I'm gonna drop down. I'm not gonna touch the corpse, but I'm gonna drop down into that.
So you actually
can I drop down there without landing on him?
You can't really go in there. If you picture like 3 feet by 3 feet and it's 6 feet down, it's like it's perfectly there just for an upright corpse to be put in.
So it's like an oubliette.
But it's just like a very thin. It's like an upright coffin that's been built into into the stone. You understand?
Important
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Is he head up or head down?
Head up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like you move the statue aside, you look over
Mike gets
this pit, and you can like literally just see like the top of a head, right? Of a wrapped head. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
if you had a cleric or something, you could come over and, check and see if it's undead, just
Is that a thing?
Do a little,
I don't know, but
hey, are you undead?
You could cast turn on it and see
Yeah.
something happens.
I do that. I poke it in the head with my mace.
oh yeah,
Okay, so you defile the corpse.
I mean, not defiling. I'm not whacking it, trying to break it. I'm just nudging it to see if it like looks up and smiles at me.
It does not.
Loving bunk.
We do know that 2 raids just tried to kill us in a hallway,
yeah. I'm a little nervous.
and there's some sort of undeath occurring. Even the friendly one was all ghostified. So
Of import, Upior, is that the good ghost spoke in Mithric, shouting in Mithric, and the plaque that was underneath Adrianic's statue was written in modern Arcantian.
yeah.
Okay.
Which Adrianic would have spoken, right?
You would have, yeah.
Yeah.
This is only about 250 years ago, the expedition.
Yeah.
It seems
call
to
this
me
bad boy
like the good ghost is going to have information that maybe we need for this mean ghost.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't
Do we
wanna
want to
know.
pull him up though?
Yep. Let's haul it up.
Let's see. So just to give a little bit of extra space, let's use the grappling hook, right? So we can
So defile
drop
the
the
corpse.
grappling. Yeah, drop the grappling hook down. Lisbeth will have out the bones in case something pops out.
Okay.
Wolfer's going to do that and then kind of loop the rope over the statue so he can kind of pull the thing straight up.
Okay, so yeah, you rig it up and you're able to carefully remove the corpse. You can tell that based upon the what it's been draped with and the reverence that was placed around the wrappings and all that kind of stuff, that this is most likely Adrianic. If it's not Adrianic, it's a really good decoy. But this certainly appears to be the one and only the failed conqueror Adrianic. There is he has a number of things that are sort of like attached to him or like buried in there with him. Okay,
He's
so
got bolts.
the first is a very, very strange thing. This is one of the things that pings Upior. Okay, it is it's shaped. It's very strange. Okay, it's very, very, very odd. It's shaped like a Rudishva hand. So it looks pretty similar to a human hand, but with much longer and more spindly fingers. I'm telling you straight up, it looks like a Rudishva hand because you've seen Rudishva. Okay. Each of these, the hand itself is about 3 inches tall, but you can see that it's formed of flesh-colored plasteel. Okay, so it's not like a real hand. And it's formed in a way that the gesture is like the OK symbol. Okay, so actually it would be like the right hand. It's like this with the palm facing out. The thumb and first finger touching, the other fingers erect. There is a eye that has been inscribed in the center of the palm that's facing out. Okay, and that eye is azure. All right, and then at the base of the wrist part of the hand, there is a rod that sort of extends downwards for you to hold it, like it's obviously like a metal rod that can be held. Okay. And there is what appears to be a tiny stud on the handle that looks like it could be depressed. The whole thing radiates magic. Okay. So like a very strange item. You don't know why Adrianic would have it, but it's obviously of Rudishva make, but it radiates magic.
I bet this is what you need to wave at the skeletons to get past them.
There is a 3-foot long rod that's relatively plain, but it's capped with like a chunk, like an ugly chunk of what looks to be depleted arcanum. Looks like it used to be capped with arcanum, but no longer. There is a ceremonial gladius inset with gold and semi-precious stones that would fit right in the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Sweet.
I should say that for no reason, you know. There is a you recognize this, and you're kind of sends a little thrill through you because it's been a long time. There is a token of Arden there, an oblong platinum, about 6 inches long, image of Arden the Defender on one face with the inscription "Nunc defensus est." Now she must be defended on the other side. That's just a reminder. You guys have seen those. You probably still have them. do you guys know what the objet d'art that's called a fibula is, or a fibula?
Closes your cloak.
Exactly right. Yes. Yeah. Very ornate brooch, basically. There are 3 of them, silver and fire opals, fibulae. Each of them is worth 125 gold. And lastly, there is a wax tablet that has a language impressed into the wax tablet, written in modern Arcantian, which is easy to read for you. Blessedly so. It's been a long time since you've actually seen like regular old Arcantian, like written in long form. So Upior, I guess I misspoke. I thought there was a couple of magic things, but the only thing I was thinking that the Arcanum was still magical, but it no longer is. So the only thing that's magical that is pinging is that palm with the rod.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me know if you want to read the tablet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we do.
Okay. In modern Arcantian, it says, don't bother writing it all down. You're going to hear a lot of names. Okay. Adrianic the Archon, and they put this in quotes. Adrianic the Archon was brave enough, seeking glory for the Basilius, which is the title for emperor. He led his entire command, 5 cohorts of the 2nd Legion Sheepshead Rangers and the 3rd cohort of the Imperial Tagmata, known as the Able Ones, down the chasm to confront the trolls, ignoring the warnings of his strategos and his polemarchs. Strategos is like a general, polemarchs are like colonels. There he died gloriously, along with all 500 legionnaires. The veterans of the Tagma fought a delaying action to cover the retreat of the survivors, but when ambushed by the old servants, with a ridiculous pseudo-king or thane, the retreat turned into a rout. The twinned warriors of the sacred band held the bridge against the horde, while Tuliaros, polemarch of the Sheepshead Rangers, rallied the survivors. Eventually, Sibylir brought down the bridge and surrounding chambers with her sorcery. The paired lovers were lost, and Maurikios, taxiarch of the 3rd cohort, was cut off with the remnants of the Tagma. I, Lankios, the polemarch, assumed command of the remnant of this accursed expedition and buried those whose bodies remained. Guivrel has been of no help, and Kaiator grows sullen. How will the Basilius react to this disaster? I have turned to the Strategos Basil as senior surviving officer. He will be Archon.
Wow.
Ah,
So it looks like things got fucked up on Adrianic's expeditions, what you're surmising from that little tablet.
Little bit of a snarkiness to that whole thing, right?
Yeah, so this Lankios guy who was a polemarch under Adrianic, it looks like he definitely like was chafing under Adrianic's, what he viewed as Adrianic's like poor strategical thinking. Like he blames like the big defeat on Adrianic's like over ambition, and it looks like it was handed to them by Varamani, as you can tell by trolls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
So I'm starting to think maybe this treasure might not be such a good thing. Like if this guy was buried by these people who disdain him, that might not be like a staff of honor, right? Like
He's still the Archon. They're not going to bury him with cursed items or something. And it's not the Arcantian way. No way. They'll bury him with honor.
Says Ted.
Grab it with your right hand. Grab that rod with your right hand. The weird one with the hand on the eyeball.
Yeah, Mortal, pick up the rod. Yeah.
With the hand?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that thing.
Okay, yeah. So it has a stud on the rod that looks like it can be depressed.
Yeah.
Ooh, depress that stud, but do it somewhere else.
I pointed away from us.
No, I'll go out and I'll stand sort of facing out over the shaft.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll press the stud.
Okay, so you're just facing the palm out like in your hand like this.
Yeah, out
facing
over the drop shaft, you know?
Okay.
Like where I'm not going to hit anybody.
Yeah, okay. So when you depress the stud, there's the azure eye, right, that's in the middle of the palm, actually shoots out an azure beam of the exact color of the eye that goes bzzz, like you can audibly hear like bzzz. It just kind of goes directly out over the shaft and hits the far wall of plasteel, and nothing happens. And then it sort of disappears after like a second.
All right.
Do any of the fingers go down?
No,
No.
not a monkey's paw.
Huh. That'd be cool.
Um,
All right, maybe I was wrong. You have
I
a
think
you have a
intriguing.
blue light thingy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna take that. Is that one slot?
Yeah.
Shall I call it the Rod of Adrianic? I guess.
You can call it. I won't give you the full name, but a Rudishva palm is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dishva palm.
John, when we have
And what-
the corpse like up, can I look down underneath to see if there's anything left down in the hole?
That's sort of what you brought up. Like a lot of this, like all that stuff was sort of like there, either
Okay.
draped on his body
Okay.
or at his feet down there. Yeah. So you're pretty confident
Okay.
you got everything.
What page number should I put?
So that's all of this stuff is on page 324.
Okay.
Wow, we
Which
just went
speaks to
like
how
300
high you
pages
are.
away from where you were.
All right. Well, that's good. We should figure out who's carrying what, but we should keep looking around.
Yep. Turn goes by for reading the wax tablet and checking out Adrianic's stuff. So now it is noon. Exactly noon.
All right.
Okay. We're not going into Hecate Town, right? So we should try a different door.
All right, let's go at 12 o'clock. That
You don't want
northern
to
door.
go-
I think we were going to do that, didn't we?
You want to go for one of the plain wooden Arcantian doors rather than the broken, melted bronze doors with the Hecate stuff beyond it?
Gee, John.
I kind of want to go
why?
Hecate, man.
Okay.
Go big or go home. Come on, guys.
I guess you're
You wanna
allowed
do
to
the
do
bronze
something
door?
boring every once in a while.
Either way, I'm gonna step to the northeast outside of the octagonal room while they start opening these doors.
There you go, Pure. Oh, it's a better part of valor. The muscle
God,
mage
it only
steps
took
out.
him 102
Wait, do-
episodes to learn that.
So wait, do you guys want to do the bronze doors first? Let's do. Okay, I'll do the
Yes.
bronze doors first. Wolford will switch to the frog catcher spear.
Frog catcher. Yeah, okay, smart. But are you seriously though? You're going to be looking at the northern doors at the plan?
No, we'll go through the bronze doors.
I'm seriously just giving you guys shit. If you want to look at that northern door, just tell me. That's fine.
What do you
Northern
guys want to do? North or bronze?
Bronze.
Let's just knock them all out. Come on, let's just do them quick. Door,
Okay.
door. 5 rooms. Let's go.
Okay, north door then.
Easier said than done, but yeah. Okay. Let me just check a real quick thing here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what do you do at the door? Do you just open it up?
Listen.
Take a turn. Okay. Roll.
Anyone better at this than me?
Me.
Yeah, 3. I hear nothing.
You don't hear anything.
Mort will get his big old goblin ear up against that door, slap that thing up there, and not roll a d20. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, it would be
Roll a
stupid.
2, which I think is good for goblins.
Been a while
Where did I
since you
write
guys
that
listened.
down?
Right hand side.
I don't know.
Jesus, Ted.
Nope, it's a 1. I
Playing
thought
this
I had
guy for
I thought I had a
years.
1 or 2, but I don't. Apparently,
All right. You don't hear anything.
I open the door.
Okay, the door does open normally, but a little bit stuck, like it doesn't look like it's been used any time recently. When you open it up, you find that there is a 10-foot corridor, just really brief, that kind of goes directly to the north, and then it opens up into let's call it 10 feet. We'll call it a 10-foot north to south by 15 feet east to west square chamber, obviously Arcantian. And you are entering in directly from the southern side. And the room here is littered with dust, chips of rock, bits of bone, fragments of leather and parchment, broken bits of metal equipment. Like, it's just thoroughly trash. It's like a bunch of crap in there. There is also there's like graffiti all over the wall. If you want to read any of that graffiti, just let me know. And scrawled on the opposite side from where you enter, that's like the most noticeable graffiti in red paint. It looks like it was like hastily written in red paint. It says Sibelier, Court Wizard. That was a name yet you read on the wax tablet. Okay.
He was the one who brought down the bridge or whatever.
Yeah, it's a she.
She.
Yeah, and directly in the center of the room, there is a sarcophagus, but it lacks a lid. There is no lid there.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be lieutenants.
Yeah. All right. I look in just to see what's in there.
Yeah, so there's all this graffiti and just junk around there. The sarcophagus does not have a lid. You cannot see what is in the sarcophagus from where you are.
Oh, I wanted to look into the sarcophagus. That's what I meant.
There is nothing in the sarcophagus. Sibelier is not there.
Can I take a gander with the circlet?
Yes, when you sort of peer over Wolfherd's shoulder, Upior, and you look into the room, it looks nothing like but junk, but then the iron circlet of Gonor's power manifests itself and reveals that the sarcophagus has a secret door underneath it.
Nothing to see here. Let's move on.
All right. Well, do we want to
Obviously.
Do it.
fiddle around? Yeah, I'm look for I don't know what would the catch be on
False
this?
bottom, slide aside.
Yeah, I'll kind of knock on the bottom and see if there's any. It sounds hollow.
It doesn't. I would say that because you guys have been doing this for a long time. It doesn't appear that it has a false bottom, but it does appear like whether you're knocking on the bottom that there is something hollow underneath the entire sarcophagus.
So we'll move the
so yeah,
sarcophagus as we did the other one. Yeah.
Okay, that's extremely heavy. It takes multiple people, but you do manage to do it. It reveals underneath a set of narrow stone steps that descend for 20 feet. That descend for 20 feet towards the north.
Let's look.
Yeah,
Ted's about
let's
to
look.
explode.
Let's look. Tad, go ahead, Mort. Go ahead, Mort.
Mort will go. Mort, Barros right behind him, swords out, spears out. Information.
All right, so you
Calculable greed.
it goes down for 20 feet into the darkness until it drops until it levels out, forming a very narrow 5-foot wide passageway that leads vaguely, mostly north, like north by northeast, basically, off into the darkness.
It's going to run into the shaft.
Well, you might be like under this kind of like area over here a bit, maybe.
John, as they're like kind of exploring this, can I just get one of the graffitis just to get a general tone of like what they're saying?
Sure. Let's see. Why don't you roll me a D100?
Holy cow, I'd have to go get one out of my 8th grade dice bag. All right. I got a 60 even.
60 even. Okay. Here, one of the things that you see on the wall is it's marked in chalk, and it's a chalk sketch of an extremely complex knot. Have any of you guys come across a knot before? I can't remember.
We did somewhere.
Is there a Gordian knot somewhere? I can't remember.
Do we need to remember where it was? No, there was a depiction of a knot. Was it in that room off of the fire chamber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a Gordian knot. It's a what kind of knot? A
Stevian knot. A Stevian.
Sordian.
Okay.
Well,
I can see that just blew your minds. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. All right.
I'm just amazed that I remembered it.
Hold on. So, let's see. This is what day is this? When we were session 80.
Yeah.
So the circle was giving Lothar a headache, but he revealed a secret door. We opened it to a barrel vaulted room with a blue pillar and a floating bust.
I could just basically because you've all taken your history courses and all that kind of stuff, like the War of the Theosophes and Sordians is pretty well known. The most common symbol of the Sordian movement was the Sordian knot. Yeah.
That explains it, because it was the room where we found Priscus Pulcher's head.
There you go.
There were knots on the walls.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's Richard never actually described exactly what the knot took a form of, but I would picture it as a very complicated, like Celtic knot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So, John, did I draw this staircase basically right?
Yeah. So it, like I said, north by northeast. So what it's going to do is it goes forward for approximately probably about 10 feet past the top of the dark corridor. Okay. And it kind of
It's like
just
going under that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it goes underneath. Yeah, exactly. And then
it's
narrow,
narrow,
about that
right?
angle.
Like 5
you're
feet wide?
about right with that. Yeah. Yeah. More or less correct. Yeah. Okay.
And then it starts to go like this.
Then something happens that I have to look up.
Oh, no.
No, not happens. There's just like a different thing that I have to figure out here.
All right.
Where is it?
This is the episode where John reads a bunch of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Mort's got a hand on a stick that shoots blue rays at people.
Where are you?
You think? Maybe.
It totally shoots blue rays. I just did it.
Well, you don't know if it's going to do it again.
Oh, of course it's going to do it again.
Nah.
100%. And it's a rod of Rhodesian domination. It's going to make people my slaves, and I'll soon have an army, and it'll be great.
We already have that item. David's wearing it.
No, this is different. This is the Rhodesian one. See, this is what they use to command the masses, and I will not learn the lesson of hubris that I should from their folly.
Okay, so so at the end of this underground, this deep dark corridor, there it pings again that there is a secret door at the end there.
That 40-foot stretch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go open it.
Yeah.
All
Wolf
right,
would
let's
be
see.
behind
Definitely
him.
an engine room on the other side.
You never know.
So what do you do?
Okay. So Mort will go up to the secret door and start sort of feeling around the edges of the door or the corners of the wall, or however it's, whatever he's finding there. I'm guessing it feels like we're on the inside of a secret door rather than the outside of a secret door, if you know what I mean.
That makes sense.
But he's feeling around for the.
Yeah.
Yes, John?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, feeling around for a catch, a latch, a mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the starting point, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I missed a big thing here, so not a big deal. Not going to affect you negatively so far. So when you reach the end of the tunnel here, and you can see that there is actually right at the northern end there is a desiccated corpse that's slumped against that secret door.
Aha!
I apologize. Yeah, it appears at first glance that it is it looks like a female sorceress of some kind, like a magic user of some time. Okay, she has a backpack on her. There is obviously a spell book, a really nice looking dagger, and the backpack looks like it's got stuff in it, basically.
Okay, a female sorcerer, possibly Sibylier or Sibylier, who got out of her sarcophagus and tried to run away because they're undead. I mean, this is very unnerving.
Or
it's
an
an
adventurer that just went down there and tried to fiddle with the door and died.
It very much looks like even though it looks like a magic user, it does look like a outfitted for adventure. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, why did they? Okay, so that's the thing. Do I see any evidence of it's filled with darts or needles, or it has an undeniably electrocuted appearance?
Look at her
No.
hand. Yeah.
No hands, just a pile of blood.
Yeah, you could. Let's see. It looks. Yeah, so it looks like you can't really tell how old you can't tell how old the corpse is based upon the appearance of the corpse because it looks like it has been unnaturally desiccated.
Ooh.
Ooh, something sucked her dry.
Yeah.
How far away are we from it at this point?
You're right up on it.
I'm right up on it. It's a 5 foot wide corridor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barrios is going to. What?
So he said, really nice dagger.
Yeah, I know it. Barrios is going to hand me the Spear of Scleros, which I'm going to use to try and drag the body away from the door.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, and if I pull it back far enough, then Mort will step over the body and go up and try and examine the door properly without touching it.
Yeah.
And Barrios and the rest can pillage this poor woman's corpse.
Okay. Yeah. So they don't describe it to me here, but it does. You find like the catch that opens the secret door if you want to open it.
All right.
I will open it using the point of the spear.
Okay. So you're going to defer looting the body before. You're
Well, Mort wants to. Barrios is actively looting the body while Mort's trying to find
body,
the catch, but yeah, Mort will wait. Mort will wait.
Yeah, Wolford's right there too, so he and Barrios can go through her
Strip
things.
it clean.
Okay. So there's a curved dagger of great beauty, bejeweled and all that kind of stuff. It looks and it Upior pings as magical. The spellbook obviously pings as magical. There's a bunch of shit in that spellbook.
Yes.
Don't get too excited, Dave.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm so excited.
So I'll get to that in a second, I guess. There is a wrapped packet in the backpack. You can see there's a wrapped packet of what appears to be very, very fine particulate dust. The moment that you open up the packet, just a little poof of it sort of wafts up, and you immediately like sneeze violently, like really violently, like way more than like the dust should actually make happen.
Okay.
And then you sort of break out into a fit of coughing, but manage to contain yourself. In addition, in the backpack there is a bronze statuette of what appears to be an Arcantian orator that looks to be worth about 450 gold. Yeah, and then she's got the spell book. I'll just whip them off.
In it.
I'll whip it off real quick, and I can give it to you off screen, but just so people know, you have a Basil's Torch treatment, which appears to be a new spell. Comprehend languages, detect magic, enlarge, floating disc, friends, jump, magic missile, read magic, shield, darkness 15-foot radius, detect evil, invisibility, knock, the pummeling fist of Arik Zor, rope trick, stinking cloud, blink, the Bracteros effect, dispel magic, feign death, hold person, phantasmal force, and dimension door.
Holy crap, that's an awesome
Holy
spell.
crap.
It's a good one. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of those, but there's a few really
Still
sweet
some
ones.
really
in
good
there.
ones. Yeah.
I'll multi-class if you give it to me.
There you go.
This person had dimension door and died at a door. That seems like something's up with that.
Yeah, and knock. She's got all the things ready at hand to open that door and be
She
fine.
may have come this direction, like into this space, and whatever's on the other side killed her, and this is where she ended up collapsing from her wounds.
Maybe.
And as
And
Upior
this
can
is-
tell you, it's all dependent upon what you've memorized, not what's necessarily in the book.
Precisely,
Yeah,
but I mean that does bring up a question, which is if she's dead and she was leaning against the secret door, presumably her back was against the secret door, so she was facing the way we came.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
yeah.
slumped
She'd
against the
have to
door,
be,
correct? Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, what killed her wouldn't
on
be
this
through the secret door. It would be on this side,
Yeah.
Maybe.
unless she like closed it and then bled out. But I don't know.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. I'm going to
I
open the
see.
door.
All right,
Yeah.
go for it.
Well, Wolford's gonna toss the dagger handle first to Lisbeth. I think she can use that.
Okay, yeah, cool. So 1 slot. It is obviously a highly powerful magical dagger of some sort. Okay, so we'll end it with you opening up the secret door and me giving you the description of the general area of the room beyond. Okay, it's a very strange room.
Keep saying that.
Yeah, I know. Well, go figure. Arden Vul. All right, so you open up the room. Now, the first thing that you see that just draws your eye immediately is a sarcophagus that's about 10 feet away from you. It appears that you are entering in from the southeastern corner of a southern wall of some sort. The sarcophagus is in the center of this first initial part of the room that you're looking at. Don't worry about mapping right now. So there are. It's a finished area that's about 25 feet square and 10 feet tall. Floor is paved in gray slate. There are 4 corpses that are lying on that slate beyond the sarcophagus to the north. Okay, at what appears to be the base of 3 very broad steps that lead upwards to a natural area. Okay, beyond. The sarcophagus itself is made out of a beautiful porphyry, so it's sort of like that kind of purplish black stone. The walls of this worked area feature brightly colored mosaics. The sarcophagus itself is incised on all sides with Mithric writing that has been filled in with silver, so it really stands out against the dark purple of the porphyry. And there are 2 half-inch diameter holes that have been drilled into the lid of the sarcophagus. And there's writing on top of the lid as well. Of course, you're not there right yet. So there's these steps that sort of lead down onto this worked area. However, if you go, you're not going to go up there yet, but you can see that up these broad steps on the northern side of this worked area, it opens up into a what appears to be a 15-foot tall natural cavern. And wafting from that cavern down those steps and sort of over the sarcophagus and hitting you guys full in the face is a musty reek of decay. And you can see that the ground of that natural cavern at the top of the steps appears to be like a thin crust of dried effluent, right? Of like crusty, nasty sewage, basically. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, you can see that there is a very narrow natural passageway that's on the northwestern side of that cavern, and then there is about 10 feet up like a cliff. There is a narrow 5-foot wide passageway that leads directly east out of this natural cavern as well. All right, the mosaics directly to the west. Looks like ancient archontians that are directing workers who are erecting the Pyramid of Thoth up on the surface. On the east appears to be a depiction of an Archontian archon riding a dragon over the finished city of Arden Vul. You can kind of see like the big landmarks of the surface city. And on the southern wall, which is the wall that you're sort of appearing from, and you're actually sort of opening up a part of this mosaic as you sort of walk through, there are Archontians inspecting cave mouths from which protrude fierce dragon heads.
Wow.
Okay.
So we found the bottom of somebody's toilet, basically.
Yeah.
I have this horrible vision of going into that cavern and looking up and just seeing up in the distance little goblin butts hanging over the edge of something, you know. And something's getting bigger. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so Lothar, your guess is actually pretty good. It's just very like it makes sense that it might be the bottom of a privy in the natural cavern area, but it's just odd that there are these steps that were sort of built into that cavern area that sort of lead down to this finished area from which you're sort of emerging. And
yeah, they didn't know that there was a tomb down here, so they're just shitting down a hole
Very possible.
Goblins, man.
And remember
Jeez.
too that you're not like a typical AV Club fashion. You're not entering into this area in the normal way, right?
No, no, we're not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Like this would be like the end part of like entering into this place is like you would go down the steps and encounter the sarcophagus sort of thing, and then there would just be mosaic filled walls, which you would then have to find a secret door.
So I would say that like for an archaeologist, finding a shit pit is like a wonderful thing, right? Like you can learn all kinds of things around there. Ted, you are uniquely positioned to tell us what kind of shit this is.
So the chief thing it's important to understand about being an archaeologist, Mike, is that the archaeologist stands there with a clipboard while the graduate students dig in the shit.
Yes.
I see.
This guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Here's your pickaxe,
I'm
son.
happy to take on the role of archaeologist in this scenario. That's fine.
It sounds like a crappy job.
Here you go, Indiana. Enjoy your backbreaking work.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll have to leave it there, but just be aware that that is what you see when you open the secret door. You have not stepped into the room, but it's just a very strange amalgamation of very weird things, basically giving you a pretty bad vibe in general.
Yeah. A lot of bodies.
Yeah, so that's the deal. Okay.
Any sense that I can see that the 4 bodies on the floor died like our friend here with the...
Too difficult to tell. You just see them sort of like because they're kind of hidden behind the sarcophagus. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll pick it up there. Of course, you have no... you do not need to step into the room when we start up the next session. You can simply be like, we're good. Definitely not the engine room. But you let me know for next session. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Well done. Lots of fun exploration. Good job navigating the shaft. Brilliant move with the rug, I should say, as part of that. That was really cool. Getting everyone up here with the minimal fuss. And you found the body of Adrianic, which is fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
Not
And
on your
you
bucket
filed it.
list for completing the shuttle puzzle, but
Nope. Not unless he has a drive shaft somewhere installed on him.
but yeah, you
We
found
did
out some
forget
interesting
to rip
stuff
them
about
open.
that. Yeah, so bringing back a little bit of Anaximander love from back in the day. Okay, so we'll call it there. Thank you, everyone, for watching 3D6 Down the Line, most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. This has been episode 102 of the Halls of Arden Vul. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. We're still going on in the final delve here, Delve 6. If you have a little bit of extra cash, maybe think about joining the Patreon, subscribing at any one of our 3 levels, Explorers, Delvers, or Conquerors. Get a couple of free bennies, including access to some of our secret channels on our Discord server, which is otherwise free to join. Come join us and talk with a lot of other community members who are all great people and have a lot of interesting conversations. Thanks as always to all of our patrons, our Explorers, Delvers, and Conquerors. David, you have the distinct pleasure of reading out the Conqueror names today. Go for it.
Indeed, I do. Thank you to 2 of our newest, Alan Barton and Alexander Bose. I also see the Radishvan curse remains.
For some of them.
Your turn.
How dare you all inflict upon me what Mike went through? No. All right. Thank you so much, Eric Tsunami, MD, Radishvan Sam Dillon, Gregory Disselhorse, Mike Small, DMW 71, Richard Barton, James Boyle, Steve BKK, Doc Jones 73, Jackson Bates, Grackle, John Hooker, Kayla Ripley Wolf, Zachary Hall, Saps, Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mecha Squagulot 605, Ruben Collar, Dave Reeve Rosser Radishvan patron.
Little late on the uptake there, Dave.
Radish V. Andrew, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Casenberry, Brad Naden, John and Law Logan, the Kabrowskis, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Rudish Fallas, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, Ted Gast, James Doig, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, a Radishfa, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabriel, Alicia, I can't even talk anymore. It really does get to you, doesn't it? Alicia Rashid's Radishvan Dishes.
I love that.
Which is great. It's very good. The Hex Brawler twins, Iona, Rudish Van Dandler, Summon Toast, To Rud to Ishvan, Dungeon Heart, Matam, Scott Earsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Diagrew, Tom Eric Garrettson, Matthew Mattis, and the worst of all of you, the Matts, Matt Walsh,
Hey.
Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, excuse me, Matt Aloney, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you all so much. It means the world to us.
Yes, thank you very much. I see a couple people change their names to Matts, which may give a clue as to what Matt may be facing on his reading next time.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
We shall
If
see.
only he could pronounce the word Matt.
That's tough. It's
a tough
been
one.
a curse.
It's a tough one. Yes, but thank you as always to all of our patrons, including the great creativity of our conquerors. We really do appreciate the ongoing support. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.
See you.
Thanks,
Thank you, John.
John.